Greetings. I'm Robert Meya, General Director of the Santa Fe Opera. I'm here in one of the most magical yet rarely seen locations on our campus, the costume storage area on the lower level of Steeren Orchestra Hall. This treasure trove is home to over 10,000 garments representing more than 50 years of original Santa Fe Opera productions. I've opted for subtlety, a pocket square from a production of Countess Maritza, which opened my very first season working at the Santa Fe Opera in 1999. Today, I'm delighted to share what we have in store for 2023. We will bring 5 new productions to the stage, each carefully chosen. Monteverdi, Debussy, and Dvorak are paired with audience favorites by Puccini and Wagner. The Santa Fe Opera's 66th season opens on June 30th with one of opera's greatest works, Puccini's Tosca, in a new production directed by Keith Warner. It stars the riveting sopranos Angel Blue and Leah Hawkins in her company debut. Sharing the role of Cavaradossi are tenors Joshua Guerrero and Freddie De Tomaso in his much-anticipated American debut. Baritone Reginald Smith will make his company debut as the villainous Scarpia. Next, a piece not heard on the Santa Fe Opera stage in over 30 years, Richard Wagner's The Flying Dutchman. Stage director David Alden, who has directed every other Wagner opera, is excited to give us this powerful new production set during the Industrial Revolution. Thomas Gugeis, the 29-year-old incoming music director of the Frankfurt Opera, conducts an all-star cast, including former apprentice singer Nicholas Brownlee in the role of the Dutchman, acclaimed soprano Elza Vandenhever as Senta, bass Morris Robinson as Daland, and former apprentice singer Richard Trey Smeger in the role of Eric. Not seen here since 1977, Debussy's masterpiece, Pelléas et Mélisande, is presented in a riveting new production, directed and designed by Nisha Jones, who gave us last season's beautiful A Midsummer Night's Dream. Santa Fe Opera music director Harry Bickett conducts a cast headlined by 2 thrilling singers in their Santa Fe Opera debuts, baritone Hugh Montague Rendell and mezzo-soprano Samantha Hankey. Korean baritone and 2021 Cardiff Singer of the World Gi-hoon Kim sings Golo, and Estonian bass Ain Anker is Arkel. Audience favorite and Grammy Award-winning mezzo-soprano Susan Graham returns to our stage as Geneviève. We're also excited to mount an electrifying new production of Rusalka, staged by Sir David Pountney. Led by conductor Lydia Yankovskaya in her company debut, we welcome back Eileen Perez to sing the title role. Tenor Robert Watson sings the role of the prince, and soprano Mary Elizabeth Williams is the foreign princess, both in their company debuts. Michaela Martins is Yeji Baba, and bass James Cresswell sings Vodnik. Rounding out the 2023 season will be the world premiere of a new orchestration by Nico Muhly of one of opera's earliest written and regularly performed works, Monteverdi's seminal Orfeo. This Santa Fe Opera commission will be led by music director Harry Bickett and directed by MacArthur Prize winner Yuval Sharon in a visually breathtaking new production with the title role performed by tenor Rolando Villazon in his company debut. We're thrilled to welcome soprano Lauren Snuffer to Santa Fe for the first time to sing the roles of La Musica and La Speranza. Mezzo-soprano Paula Murahi sings The Messenger, James Cresswell is Caronte, and baritone Blake Denson is Plutone. Finally, no Santa Fe Opera season would be complete without 2 special performances featuring our talented singing and technical apprentices in masterfully staged scenes on 2 Sunday evenings in August. I'm incredibly excited to share that our 2023 season marks the 50th anniversary of the Santa Fe Opera's Pueblo Opera program. Since 1973, children and families from New Mexico's 19 pueblos and 3 reservations have come to the Santa Fe Opera to take part in a music program founded on our shared value and respect for the power of storytelling. The The Pueblo Opera program has been guided by an advisory council that includes past participants and tribal elders from around the state. To commemorate its 50th anniversary, the Pueblo Opera Cultural Council has engaged filmmaker Beverly Singer of Santa Clara Pueblo to create a documentary about this special and unique program. Stay tuned for details on the premiere. And now for a sneak preview of what's to come in our 2024 season. Building on the momentum of new works commissioned in recent years, from The Revolution of Steve Jobs and The Lord of Cries to this summer's M. Butterfly, it gives me great joy to announce that 2024 will showcase the Santa Fe Opera's 19th world premiere by American composer Gregory Spears and U.S. Poet Laureate and Pulitzer Prize winner Tracy K. Smith in a new work titled The Righteous. Together, Tracy and Greg are creating a captivating new opera that explores the intersections between religious faith and political power. And now, Tracy and Greg will share more about their exciting new creation.
My name is Gregory Spears, and I'm writing the music for the opera The Righteous.
I'm Tracy K. Smith. I'm a poet, and I wrote the libretto for The Righteous. This story is a retelling or reconsidering of the story of David from the Bible, set in the 70s to 90s church communities in southwestern America.
As David gets caught up in local politics, his connection to God is weakened by his worldly ambition. And this is a time when the AIDS crisis and the war on drugs and the rise of feminism is very much front and center in American discourse.
We're interested in the ways that genuine faith and actual power inform and change one another. We're interested in the role of politics in religion, the role of women in the church.
One of the things I love so much about Tracy's libretto is the way that it moves from these very quickly moving ensemble scenes, essentially, where there's lots of conversation, almost overlapping text because it's moving so quickly. And to be able to get a sense of that reality is something that's very exciting to me as an opera composer. And then to really shift into a different gear, to really go into this melody-driven world of aria. I think of it as very much an aria-driven opera where we can really hear these moments.
I think anybody who grew up reading the Bible has an affinity for the Psalms. They're so intimate, so beautiful, so vulnerable. And so my way of interpreting that was to choose a form that's based on repetition. The villanelle is the form that I chose for the Psalms. Certain lines repeat over and over again, and they also turn or tilt. And in this work, it allows us to think about change, evolution, and also contradiction.
One of the things that continually fascinates me about opera is something that's inherent to the form. There's a certain kind of duality. And what I mean by that is we have two worlds that are sort of working side by side. There's the world of the play, if you will, the world of the characters, a sort of realistic world, in this case depicting the 1980s. And then there's this other world, this more abstract world of music swirling around that world, structuring that world. And this duality inherent in opera, sometimes it leads to people asking the question, do the characters hear the music, right? Do they know that they're singing? Or is that hidden world around them so ubiquitous that they don't hear it? Only we get the full picture as the audience. And so this larger question about the medium of opera becomes a certain kind of like religious question for these characters. They're trying to connect with something outside of themselves. They're trying to make contact with an unseen world. And so that aspect of opera that's inherent to the form becomes a sort of storytelling technique in response to what Tracy's written and the journeys that these characters are taking.
I hope what you feel, either through interest or worry or recognition with these characters, is that there's a piece of you out there that's in play.
Having this piece be at the Santa Fe Opera is really exciting. Having this piece work in counterpoint between the characters in their world on stage, the music in the pit, and of course they're singing, and the audience, and then this truly beautiful evocation of the sublime surrounding the opera house. To me, I'm excited to think about that counterpoint and how it might serve the story that Tracy has written.
To be able to tell this story, which has so much to do with place and land, and in some ways the large scale mythic view that America has of itself, to be able to enact this work on a stage where the landscape is also a character, I think is really exciting and important.
Tickets for our 2023 season are now on sale on our website. Finally, we remain committed to the health and safety of our artists, staff, and community. Please visit our website for the most current information on health and safety policies. This summer and the seasons soon to come offer a truly immersive experience you won't find anywhere else in the world. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you at the Santa Fe Opera.